new game, new conversation starter. We'll explain that in a minute. And then to end tonight, we threw an open-ended question up on our Insta story. What questions do you guys have about faith, God, the Bible? And we got a couple sent in, so we're going to try to address a couple of them.
Yeah. And thank you guys for sending those in, too. Cool to interact.
You know what, Riley? I'm great. I really am. I'm good. And I miss your face. I'm just going to say it. I do.
Yeah.
I miss your face.
Yeah. I'm playing. I miss you too, man.
That's just cruel. That is just cruel.
Yeah, we miss you guys. It's gloomy in here without you.
Well, it's gloom. I think it's going to rain. It's gloomy everywhere.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
it's gloomy everywhere.
Well, that's
right
good.
now.
Maybe we'll have some more friends join us because they can't go outside and enjoy the beautiful weather.
That's true.
You know, rocking. Or maybe they're just, vacationing.
Mm-hmm.
People scattering all over the place.
Yep. Yeah. I talked to like 2 other people that said they were like going to the beach in different places. A lot of people going on vacations in the next couple of weeks too.
I'm going on vacation next week.
Yep.
I will be going to the beach.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I heard. Kelly said that she's going to the beach 2 weeks after you.
Listen, I'm a beach person.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to do whatever the COVID version of beaching is. Here's what I will say. To further answer Riley's question of how I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I will be better once I'm on vacation. Because rest is important.
Yeah,
So
it really is.
I look forward
really
to
is.
recharging them batteries.
It really is. I don't know how you guys feel sometimes too. Like when you know rest is coming.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard to finish out what you have to do.
I'm
to
here
get
in
to the
body
rest.
only. I'm totally mailing this entire broadcast in.
Yeah.
It's
hard, man.
That means it's going to be our best because I'm not going to think about it.
There you go.
I think our best things are that.
Just
We got one more minute. Riley, how are you doing? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's actually a good question.
Yeah, since you're prodding me. How are you, my friend?
How art thou?
Like I saw a picture. Because all we have now is social media. And I saw a picture. I think you and your dad were doing that egg challenge thing,
Oh, okay.
which was awesome. But I also noticed you grew like 12 feet.
Oh.
So this is gonna be weird. As soon I know we're starting to see some people back and forth, but they're all gonna be taller when we see them again.
Yeah.
And it messes with me because I don't know about you. I have stopped growing vertically and I only grow horizontally at this point.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely happened to me as well. Yeah. When did you stop growing?
So I was 5'8" in 7th grade.
Uh-huh.
I was really good at basketball because I was tall.
Uh-huh.
I'm 5'10".
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know when I stopped, but I only got 2 more inches since the 7th grade.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It's not good. And it really ruined my basketball game because I started as a post player and have no ball handling skills whatsoever. And now I am small and slow and can't dribble. It's great. I can occasionally hit an open 3, though.
There we go.
Keyword occasionally.
There we go.
All right, so we're going to start. You want to start with cool, not cool?
Yeah, we can start with cool and
All
not
right,
cool.
so this is how this works. We are each going to present you guys with something that we think is cool. We need you to vote and tell us whether it is or not. So we're gonna pitch it, and then you get to tell us what you think. So
Yep.
you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. All right. So what I figured out, in the whole cool and not cool thing, we did it before, and now I'm definitely a fan of stories. So when a story is attached to something, automatically it becomes cool to me.
So what you're saying is you're gonna spin a web of BS for our audience.
Oh no, stories.
Stories.
So I'm from Harlem, New York. There was a time in my life where I was not happy to live in the area that I lived in, and I wanted to move. I just wanted to move. But I've grown to love my area, right? I've grown to love my hometown. And in me growing to love my hometown, it grew even more when I went off to college, when I went to Lancaster Bible College. And I'm like, oh man, I miss home. So one of my friends one day, for my birthday, actually did this for me. This is a handmade map of my neighborhood, of Harlem.
Can't see it.
Harlem in its entirety.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So Harlem is actually not that big. A lot of people assume that it's like an entire borough, but it's not. We're just that strong. So anyway, so this is the entire section of Harlem, which is in Manhattan.
Yes.
So they drew it, and this star right here is actually where I live on the grid.
Well, that's good to know.
Yep.
Yes. Contrary to popular opinion, Harlem is not the Bronx. It's not even in the Bronx.
It's not in the Bronx. It's not Brooklyn. Harlem is in uptown Manhattan.
Yes, it is.
All right? This little section, and right here where this star is exactly where I live on the map of Harlem. And somebody hand drew this with some of my favorite Bible scriptures. And I'm like, this is cool.
I think it's cool.
There we go.
I think it's cool. I think Harlem is cool.
Amen. Harlem is cool.
I'll give you props for that. I will, the fact that, frankly, my problems start to happen once you cross over to the Bronx, because then you get just entirely too close to Yankee territory. And as you can tell by the shirt that I'm wearing, that's just more.
More pain?
I like to head a little more east towards Queens.
Got you.
Personally.
Got you.
7 line.
That's cool. That's
7
cool.
line every day.
Okay.
All right, I'm seeing a lot of cool. I'm seeing super cool. I'm seeing that is a cool map. Cool with several exclamation points. All right, that is generally cool.
Yes.
All right. Man, that is going to be. It's not competition. It is competition. I'm probably going to lose, but that's okay. I think what I have is cool. It may not be that cool.
Okay.
And all right, so this is what I'm going to start with. All right.
I already like it.
So this is a boomerang. Not only is it a boomerang, this is an authentic, straight from Australia boomerang.
Wow.
So if you want to go stories, so my sister spent 2 years in Australia getting her master's degree.
Okay.
Fun fact, did you know that it is cheaper to move to Australia for 2 years and get a master's degree than to live at home and get a master's degree in the United States?
Wow.
Who knew? My sister did. So the one caveat on this was the most expensive part is the plane ride.
Okay.
So she did not come home for 2 years, and then she came home after she got
Yeah.
it. But while she was there, she did cool things like get boomerangs. Now, the thing that would make this cooler is if it worked. I bet it does. I cannot prove it here.
Yeah.
Because I will break things, and I will probably, I'll probably kill Austin. Is really what the problem is. But the reason I thought about this was Crocodile Dundee was on TV the other night.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what? I have a boomerang. So, yeah, this is my boomerang. Basically, I love that we've done this twice, and I brought 2 weapons.
Yes, you definitely did.
I was telling Donovan, like, we did this once, and I brought a freaking broadsword, and I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to top that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I peaked too soon, but I think that this is pretty cool.
I do too.
So I'm gonna leave my boomerang. I'm just gonna prop it up against my
Okay.
tablet right there.
Okay.
So I think, man, Riley, I love Riley.
Yeah.
Man,
It's so
you just-
encouraging.
Man,
It's just so encouraging.
I love just that whole family. I mean, I love
Yeah.
you all, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
you guys are great.
So you got a little more love on that, but I think we're both in the cool camp.
Of course.
All
Of
right, you got another one?
I got another one.
All right.
Okay. So, in the book of Luke,
Oh, we're going biblical.
yes, we're going biblical. In the book of Luke, there is a story that's being told.
Are you gonna pull out like a actual manuscript
No.
signed by Jesus?
No, I'll get it from Connie's office
Okay.
because she has a super cool. Anyway, Connie would, probably have a lot of cool things that will top us. So in the book of Luke, there's this account, this story of this woman that's extremely poor, and she gives all of her money, which was 2 coins, and they called it like a widow's mite. So they're taking these offerings, and these rich people are giving stuff, and this lady comes along, she just gives 2 coins, and people are, just laughing at her like, who is this woman? And Jesus is saying, like, basically he was telling everybody, like, you guys gave from the excess that you have, but this woman gave all that she had. And these 2 things, especially in King James, are called a widow's mite. right? So the 2 actual copper coins. So in my trails to Israel, I actually purchased an authentic widow's mite from excavation. So this is an authentic widow's mite. And I don't know if you can see. Well, Jay can see.
Super tiny. Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah. So you can see like the engravings on it. I actually have a certificate that tells the authentication of it.
You want to
in
pass that to Austin?
excavations.
Maybe you can bring it closer to the screen.
Yeah.
I probably like because I'm looking at our screen and it's like there we go. Here comes Austin's hand. I see it. There it is. Yeah, dude, that is
Yes.
that is legit.
Authentic widow's mite from Israel.
Now, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you feel bad about not giving it away? Because that was the whole point of the biblical story.
No,
Okay. I'm just,
because it's not all that I have.
so what you're saying is you're not giving away all you have.
No,
You still have the,
I still have it, and I will keep it.
and you have that too.
Yes, and I will keep it. I'm sorry. I need to grow in my love a little bit more, in my giving.
Yep.
So authentic from Israel.
All right.
Widow's mite.
So there's no way I'm going to win this because you went biblical on me. I'm going to fall out of my chair. All right. Hold on. What I need fell out.
I'm like, this is about to be a production right now.
Oh, it's
He
not a
got out
production.
the-
So
got out the
what
chair.
I have here. Get back in camera. All right. I have an envelope. Very fancy. All right. So inside of this envelope is every ticket stub of anything that I have gone to in high school.
Wow.
So
In high school?
In high school. All right. So like there's a whole bunch of things in here, but I'm counting as one. So just as an overview, I have ticket stubs from Star Wars Episode 1 in here, seeing it opening night.
Wow.
Right? I saw it multiple times. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm a huge nerd. I have concert tickets. I have the first Christian concert I ever went to. I have the first time I saw Switchfoot in 2001. But here's the thing that I want to show you, because everybody has concert tickets, and I have sporting events, I have all that kind of stuff. Everybody has concert tickets of people that they have seen. How many people have a concert ticket from a show that they were a part of?
I
So,
don't have one.
I have my own band's concert ticket. All right, so I had a band in high school. No, it was senior of high school going into college. So I was in a band with a bunch of friends from high school. Our band named it was a fusion band.
Okay.
I don't even know what we fused because we didn't know what that meant, but it sounded cool. And it was called East Meets West.
Okay.
Mostly because it was 2 white guys and an Indian, and we thought that would be
Meets West.
clever.
Okay. East meets West.
So this is a ticket. See, it says East Meets West right there. From SummerSlam
SummerSlam.
at a club called Chrome, spelt with a K, on Route 35 in South Amboy, New Jersey.
Is it still there?
I hope not. So here is the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I have this ticket to the show, right? We never played this show.
Wow. Okay, that's even better.
Here's the best part about this story.
Uh-huh.
So we were slated to go on at 10 o'clock at night. All right? I stayed until 1 a.m., and we were still not allowed to go on.
No.
And I just said, dude, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Because the promoters of the club were just like, oh, well, there's other bands, and you guys are, not important. And so I walked out.
Wow.
So yes, I am a true Hollywood story.
Yep.
In and of myself. I was in a band. I walked out of my own gig, and I still have the concert ticket from that. So I have that. I actually have one other one. And
Okay.
this is a show that we actually played. It was in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And we actually had to write the name of the band in.
Okay.
That's how official it was.
That's cool.
The reason I love this one is, so I told you I have the ticket from the first time I saw the band Switchfoot. Switchfoot's probably one of my all-time favorite bands. I've seen them more than any other band, right? I can say that I have played on the same stage as Switchfoot because I saw them play at this club, The Saint in Asbury Park, and I also played. So our band had 2 shows. This was the one we played.
There you go.
This was the one we didn't, and I have the ticket stubs to both of them.
There you go.
So, long story,
All right.
but
Those are cool.
if you think that's cool,
Those are definitely
we got
cool.
some cool. We got some cool. Julie called me a hoarder for keeping all that stuff, and you know what? You're right, because I have other envelopes with other time periods.
So this is why I think that's like even extra cool. So nowadays, especially when you go to like concerts, even to the movies, tickets don't even look the same.
I know you don't get ticket stubs.
You don't get tickets. So the fact that you have these and they're like real, like tangible, thick paper tickets,
Yep.
takes it up a notch. Like it's
agree.
amazing.
I agree. I was also in a not great band.
Oh,
Thank God there are no recordings.
look,
So
look, you have proof.
I do.
Those
I have-
stories
I
can
do.
say.
I do. I have proof. I have
There
proof.
we go.
All right, guys. So that is cool, not cool. I'm gonna declare Donovan the winner of that one.
It's just cool stuff up here, man.
It's just cool stuff.
Cool
but
stuff
That's
up
good.
here.
You're cooler, and I
Just cool
will say
stuff
that. Abby, everything is virtual now. All right.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm real at this point.
Yep.
I-
The barcode.
I just scan me and check it out. All right, so we're gonna intro a new segment right now.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a riff of something that you guys may be familiar with, but we made it a little more, you want to say church appropriate?
Okay. Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we created a game. It's called Start Bench Cut. You may know it better as
Start, bench, cut.
a bad word.
Start, bench, cut.
Marry or kill. But basically, we're putting it in a sports context where we're going to give 3 members of a category, and we have to. So think about sports. You get one who is your starter,
Yep.
who is the best version of it. One who is on your bench, so they're good enough to be there, but they're not good enough to play all the time.
Yep.
And there's one that needs to get cut. You're no longer on the
Yep.
team.
Yep.
All right. So we didn't even talk about this since yesterday. Do you have any of these, or do
Yeah.
you just?
Yep. I have some right here.
Well, I've talked a lot, so why don't I go first? I'm just gonna set the world on fire and go with this one first. All right, we're gonna go movies. Start bench cut.
Movies, okay.
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. One gets started, one gets benched, and one has to get cut as a series.
Okay.
Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Who gets start? Who gets benched? Who gets?
I'm definitely gonna start, but I want you to answer this because I'm literally answering based off of what I've seen.
That's fair.
So one, I have to start Lord of the Rings.
Give us your answers in the comments.
Yes. One, I have to start Lord of the Rings because I've seen it in its entirety and I absolutely love it. I have to bench Star Wars because I have not seen all of the episodes. But I do like them, but I have not seen all of them. And I have to cut Harry Potter because I have literally not seen one of those movies. I just haven't seen them and I haven't read any of the books. So I have to cut it. So Lord of the Rings is starting, Star Wars is being benched, Harry Potter's being cut.
That hurts me. All right, so there's 2 ways to answer this. If it's just the movies, I am starting Star Wars, I am benching Lord of the Rings, and I'm cutting Harry Potter.
Okay.
If it is stories themselves, I will change it, and I will actually start Lord of the Rings. I will bench Harry Potter, and I will cut Star Wars. And that is coming from an ad
Wow.
simply because, like, the amount of detail and world building that you get through books, Star Wars was not built that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that is my answer. So I could go from start to cut on Star Wars, but that would be my answer. Julia says I need a screaming emoji. I'm sure it's there if you dig hard enough. All right, you got one?
Yes. All right. So I'm keeping the same basketball analogy, right? But we're going to go in the realm of food, all right?
Oh boy.
So these foods can play basketball. Who are you starting on your team?
I don't know what that means.
Who are you benching? I don't know either.
Okay.
It made sense in my mind, and when I'm saying it out loud, it's falling apart, but I'm going to stick with it. And who are you going to cut? All right? Wings, tacos, burgers. Start, bench, cut. Wings,
Here, I need some clarification on tacos. Anything I imagine with tacos?
anything you imagine
Or like
with
like
tacos.
just the ground beef cafeteria taco.
No, anything. The best versions of each of these. The absolute best versions of wings, tacos, and burgers. Start, bench, cut. Who you guys have?
Start burgers,
Ooh.
and that's not even close.
Oh.
That's easy.
Ooh.
100%. Burgers are like my go-to. I have had a burger every week of this pandemic.
Yep.
If I stood up right now and stood sideways, you would see the result of that.
Okay.
Tacos are more versatile. You can have tacos 1,000 different ways. But I'm gonna have to bench wings and cut tacos.
Wow.
It's hard.
Wow.
It is hard.
Okay.
But here is the thing, because if I cut tacos,
Mm-hmm.
I could have 100 different other kinds of Mexican food still.
Okay.
But there's nothing that can replace wings.
Nothing.
That's my argument. There's nothing that can replace
Nothing.
wings. But I will take a burger over wings every day of the week.
Woo!
Every day.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
What is your answer?
I like it. For me, hold on. Let me look at some of you guys. Okay. So we got some start tacos, bench burgers, cut wings. Start burgers, bench tacos, cut. Literally just read the same thing all over again.
I'm seeing a lot of start burgers.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing.
And bench
I feel
tacos and
vindicated.
cut wings.
I'm
Wow.
saying the other two are hard, but the clear-cut answer is start burgers.
Yeah. Yeah. I love burgers. I think I'm gonna start wings.
You can be wrong.
I'm gonna start wings. I'm gonna bench burgers, but it's like burgers are benched, but they're not really benched. If you know anything about basketball, it's like Lou Williams. They're supposed to be a starter, but you just put them on the bench because when they come in, they just destroy everything in a good way.
Does that mean you're signing tacos to a 12-day contract?
No, they cut. They're cut.
Just done?
Yeah, I like tacos. I think I could do without them.
It's just
I do.
I agree. I could do without them, but the world would be less good because of it.
Yes, I agree. I agree. All right, you got something
Want to
else?
do one more? Want to do one more?
Yeah, we can do it.
You know, I'm gonna stick in the movie realm.
Okay.
All right. So, start, bench, cut, second tier Marvel character.
Second tier Marvel character. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Black Widow, Hawkeye, Ant-Man.
Oh. Oh man.
We can't go with the All Stars. That's too easy. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, start, bench, cut.
You know I'm a processor. This is dang, that's hard. Black Widow, Hawkeye, Ant-Man. So
I mean, don't let the fact that Endgame already cut Black Widow for us.
I know, right? So whatever
R.I.P.
whatever it is I'm about to say right now is subject to change. Let me just qualify that because I need to think about this more. This is a deep question.
You have a future in politics, my friend. What is that?
Oh, man, I have to think about this. Okay.
Let me
All right.
tell you how non-definitive my stance is before
my
I give
goodness. All right. So, man, I'm really struggling with this. So I think I'm actually going to start Black Widow. I think she's I know R.I.P. What she brings to the entire team for the longevity of what it was, like I love Paul Rudd, I love Ant-Man and Hawkeye. It doesn't compare.
No, you're right.
Like it does not compare. So I'll start Black Widow, and this was really hard. I think I'm gonna bench Ant-Man, and then cut Hawkeye. I do think Hawkeye is more valuable, but I get what Hawkeye can give me. I think I get it from Black Widow, and other members can kind of give it to me, but he's very important. But I just really like Ant-Man.
All right, I have the exact same answer,
Okay.
and I will give you proof positive as to why you were right.
Okay. Please enlighten me.
Black Widow has been in more Marvel movies than any other character.
Wow.
So, because she shows up,
Yeah,
shows up in Iron Man 2.
Yep.
She may not have big parts, but she is in almost every one of them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So she is obviously the answer. The reason why you cut Hawkeye is because Hawkeye cut himself. He retired and then came back. He was forced out of retirement because the world ended in Civil War, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
he did.
he cut himself. He wanted to be out, and let's be honest, like he doesn't have a superpower. He's just really good at shooting a bow and arrow. And what happens when he runs out of arrows?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got.
Yeah.
I love him. He's a great character.
Yep.
And I'll be honest. If I said Ronin, his dark character in Endgame, I might have a different answer.
Oh, my
Because that
goodness.
is, woo, that is a whole different thing. Ant-Man is the ultimate Dion Waiters
Yeah.
of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Comedy, like, just think about his appearance in Civil War.
Yeah. That
Like,
was like
Just
the
sneaks
epitome.
up out of nowhere, super small, and then he gets all giant and lets Cap
Yep.
and Winter Soldier escape. Yeah,
Yep.
he's the epitome of a bench player.
Yep. Yep. Comes in, does his job, but you can't forget him. He's great. He's great. Also, Hawkeye was a bad guy for most of the first Avengers movie as well.
Well,
They
that
got
wasn't his fault.
Yeah, but they got it done
They did.
without.
I'm just saying.
Well, not
right.
without him. But
Well, we've lost Abby because she does not watch Avengers. And,
Okay.
My response is
no clue what you're talking
you
about.
you should.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah.
You got one more?
Yeah, I could do one more. Okay, so I kind of did these animated figures. Okay, so animated figures of all time: start, bench, and cut. So we're thinking about longevity. We're thinking about everything that encompasses what these figures
Trying
are.
to figure out why you're not just saying cartoons.
Well, all right. When I say one, then
okay,
you'll get it.
okay.
All right. Mario,
Oh,
Super Mario,
Super Mario. Gotcha.
Mickey Mouse,
My childhood
Woody,
from Toy Story.
Toy Story. Animated, not cartoon. Super Mario, Mickey Mouse, Woody from Toy Story.
This is simply an autobiographical answer on
Okay.
impact on my life.
Okay.
And the answer is start Mario, bench Mickey, cut Woody. I love Toy Story, but I was, Toy Story came out, what, 95, 96? So I was already almost in middle school by the time it came out. It had less of a childhood impact on me. Like, I cut my teeth on Mario. Like, the Christmas I got my regular Nintendo, the NES system, still one of the greatest moments of my childhood.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
opening that up, yeah, absolutely. That is the answer. Start Mario, bench Mickey. Because let's be honest, like, Mickey is iconic.
Yeah.
Like, he has to bench because he's iconic. I think Woody's a better character.
Then Mickey.
That would be
Yeah.
my answer. Just
Yep.
but the icon, he's literally been around 50 plus years longer than Woody.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Gotta say something for longevity.
Definitely has. Definitely has. Yeah. So to keep a happy home, because the way I feel about Ninja Turtles is the same way my wife feels about Mickey Mouse. I start Mickey Mouse. I bench Mario, and then I cut Woody.
To keep
Yeah.
my health.
Happy home. Happy home. Peace. Start Mickey Mouse.
Happy
bench
wife, happy life. I believe
And the
is-
reason why I
is
bench
the phrase that you're looking for.
Yes. The reason why I bench Mario is not like kind of specifically about Mario, but because of what Mario spawned. So I didn't have a Nintendo, I had a Sega, so I didn't play a lot of Mario games. But because of Mario, we got things like Donkey Kong. I think it's also inspired things like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. So if it wasn't for Mario, I don't know if some of these other iconic games that kind of come out because it did what it did, and it was just great.
I got to a point in my life where I could beat Super Mario 3 in under a half hour. Thank you, Warp Whistles. None of you know what I'm talking about. Just you get that feather and get your raccoon flap.
That's it.
And
It's just
you,
right across.
You are right there the
Right to
entire
that
time.
flag,
You
man.
are right there the entire time.
Oh,
All right,
my
so
goodness.
with the last couple minutes that we have left, a couple of you guys gave us answers to a question where you ask questions. So I think there's two where we can answer a little bit quicker, so we're going to blow through those. Not that they're not important, but there's a third one that might take a little bit longer and nuanced. So the first question that I will pass to you is from Dina, and she's watching right now, so you can answer her.
Okay.
It's like, her question is, how did Moses part the Red Sea?
Okay.
All right, Donovan, you have a master's degree from a Bible college. You are qualified to answer this question.
Lord have mercy. Yeah, you set me up great there.
I am.
Oh my goodness.
I am working on the same degree, but I haven't finished it yet, so that just means you're smarter than I am.
Oh my goodness. You have more ministry experience than me. So first and foremost, Dina, thank you for the question. One, I remember someone asked this before. in a church service that I was in, and the response that the pastor gave was, Moses didn't part the Red Sea. God did.
That is correct.
So, kind of when we...
You were paying attention.
Yeah. So I think when we see these great and miraculous things that happen, God definitely uses people to carry out those things. But the more important part of it is recognizing where the power actually comes from. And the power came from the Lord. And the staff and Moses was an instrument for God to show off and display who he was. And the reason that Moses was such a good leader was because he pointed the people back to God and say, like, hey, continue to look to him. So Moses didn't part it. God parted it through his power.
Yep. Go read Exodus 14. It'll give you the full picture of it. A lot of cool stuff happens. Like, God is literally leading the Egyptians by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. And then as they get to the sea and the Egyptians are coming up from behind, this cloud that was leading them moves around to the back of them and protects them and walls them off as the sea is being parted. And it says that God sent a wind to blow and part the sea. So it was actually the wind that parted it. Moses just had to raise the staff to do what God commanded and have that happen. So I think that's really, really cool. All right, next question. I'm just going to throw this out there, and maybe we can both take it. But this one's from Jacqueline. She wanted to know, did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
That's
a great question.
Yes, but that is definitely like questions like all youth groups have.
Well, yeah.
We have to answer this question.
It's a legit question.
Yeah, but we have to answer it correctly.
Here's the thing. The Bible doesn't tell us, so we are left to speculation.
Yes.
All right? I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay, I actually am going to go yes as well.
All right. So my theory on yes is God would, because Adam and Eve weren't born, they were created, God made them exactly how a fully formed human should have been. And a fully formed human has a belly button. Now, the reason why they wouldn't is because the reason you have a belly button is that's where the umbilical cord attaches. That's where a fetus in utero gets all of its nutrients. Adam and Eve didn't need that. But I think because they were fully formed humans, that they had belly buttons.
Yep. Yeah, and the reason why I say I think they have belly buttons is because I can't fathom a human being without a belly button. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm playing literally for the same thing.
No, I think you should just leave it there.
Yeah.
It would just look weird.
That's a great question, but it definitely would look weird. But I do think it's the fully formed humans, like these are people to usher in mankind. So I do think that they had belly buttons as well.
All right, and our last question, and this one comes from Brenna. All right, so this one, not that the other two weren't serious, but this one, just has a little bit of a different tone to it. So, and it's a great question. So her question is, if the bad things that happen in life are not God's fault, I'm paraphrasing because she says it a little bit differently, then why do we say that miracles are from God? So if God doesn't get blamed for the bad things, why do we give him credit for the good things? I guess would be the way that I would paraphrase that, and specifically in the realm of miracles. So supernatural occurrences, that kind of stuff. I purposely decided to read the question so that way you could answer them.
Oh my goodness!
Give me time to figure out. So I would start by saying that this is a complicated question.
Yes.
One that I think the important thing is I think this is a better way to start a conversation than to fully flush it out. The other thing that I always tell students, and it kind of sounds like a cop-out, but it's something that I need to remind myself, is there's a lot of things when we talk about the things that we don't understand about the Bible, there's a reason why we don't fully understand it. And there always has to be a level where we are never going to be able to fully comprehend all of who God is and all of why he does what he does. So I think we can still answer it, but I just want to kind of set that expectation and saying, God is bigger than we are. He has an infinite mind and we have a finite mind. And his rationales for things are going to be difficult for us to wrap our brains around.
Yeah.
That being said, I think that the Bible does give some answers to what Brenna is saying.
Yeah. So what I was going to do, we had just a couple of minutes just to say, hey, did you see the question stuff? And actually, this is where I go. I actually think Jay has one, a pretty good reference, and then a way to talk into it. One thing I would kind of start the conversation, say, this is why it's important, again, for us to talk, basically what Jay said, like, to kind of wrestle through these things, to talk through these things and say, hey, when we don't fully understand things, how can we sit in conversation and kind of talk through them and see what the Word of God says. When I immediately heard the question, my first thing was like, okay, I have a follow-up question kind of as well. But right now, I think the best thing we could do is, try to answer to the best of our abilities. And one thing I think Jay has is a great biblical foundation. No, you do. A great biblical foundation for where the conversation is going to go, and I'm not going to try to stick my foot in my mouth. So,
leave that to me.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
No, I'm just kidding. So I think, so the thing that popped up into my mind, and the Bible is so vast, and I think there's a couple different places that we can see this being addressed. But the scripture that immediately popped in my mind is Romans 8. And it's long and it's complicated. And there's about 15 verses that I'm going to pull from here. I'm not going to read all of them. But starting in verse 18, here's what it says. What we suffer now is nothing compared to the glory that God will reveal to us later. For all creation is waiting eagerly for that future day when God will reveal who his children really are. Against its will, all creation was subjected to God's curse. But with eager hope, the creation looks forward to the day when it will join God's children in glorious freedom from death and decay. So that's 3 verses right there. It goes on, and it's really important. But I think the answer is in those 3 verses, right? The reason why bad things happen, and we don't blame God, is because God's creation is good, right? We see it in Genesis. God made something, and he said it was good. The problem was that as soon as that creation was finished, sin enters because we screwed up.
Yep.
Right? And inside of that good creation, which is still good now, sin is tearing apart that goodness.
Yep.
And because of that clash, bad things are happening. So, there's there's 1,000 different ways you can personally think about what bad things are.
Yeah.
All right? God knows about all of them, right? If God wanted to, he could snap his fingers and make any of them go away. But that's not his plan. His plan is bigger than that. In is Isaiah or Jeremiah where he talks about my ways are higher than your ways, my thoughts are higher than your thoughts.
Isaiah.
I think it's Isaiah, right? Like God's plan is bigger than the individual moments that we're going through. And Romans 8 actually says that a little bit later. In verse 28, it says, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to his purpose.
Yep.
Right? So that means that even the bad stuff, God can use for the goodness of his creation. Because we know what the beginning of the story is. We know where the brokenness is. We know where Jesus comes in. And we know what the promise of the end of the story is. We just have this chunk where we don't know how we get from here to what that good promise of the end of the story is.
Yep.
And that's where it's hard to see where the bad stuff fits in, because we don't know.
Yeah. We also, and one, thank you for that. We also see that played out in people's lives in the Bible.
Yep.
So we talk about Joseph. One of the lines that I've heard so much growing up, when Joseph is standing before his brothers and he's in Egypt, and he's allowing them to eat and things like that, and he says, what was meant for evil, God turned it around for the good. So you talk about him being falsely accused, him being thrown in a pit, him experiencing all of these harsh, bad things in his life. Yet God used all of these things to position him in a place where he can now bless not only his family, but then bless everyone around him. And it goes into this this assumption that, when bad things happen, it's only going to lead to bad stuff.
Yep.
But what God does is he takes those bad things and he transforms it and somehow maneuvers it in a way where we stand one day and we go like, you know what? I see that there was actually a plan, that God used the evil, God used the bad for his glorious good. And how that happens, I don't know.
Right. Well, I'll go back to Romans 8. So fast forward to verse 35, and it says this. Can anything ever separate us from Christ's love? Does it mean he no longer loves us if we have trouble or calamity or we're persecuted or we're hungry or we're destitute or we're in danger or threatened with death? No. Despite all of these things, overwhelming victory is ours through Christ who loved us.
Amen.
So that is the answer, because like if we're going to talk about miracles, the ultimate miracle is Christ's self-sacrifice on the cross, the love that he shared for us,
Amen.
and his defeat of death to allow us the freedom to overcome these things, even though we're feeling them in the moment.
Amen.
So that is the promise. Like I said, it's hard to see in the moment of where we are. We are stuck in the time and the understanding that we have. The beautiful thing about God is he is outside of that time.
Outside, yep.
He knows everything, right? So I've used this example before, but if this pen is time, right, we can only go one way on it.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll do this for the camera. So if we're here, we can only go forward,
Yeah.
right? We can't go backwards.
Nope.
We know what's backwards. We don't know what's forwards, but we can only move in one direction. God can go forwards, he can go backwards, and he can say, time is not two-dimensional. He is everything around this. He is the pen itself.
Yep.
He is the things in between the pen that we can't see.
Yeah.
The things that he knows are infinitely more
Yep.
than we can ever understand.
Yep.
And that's where trust and faith come in to help us bridge that gap.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Julia, I'm using the NLT, New Living Translation. It was just a little bit easier to get my point across for what I was trying to do right here. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was great. Guys, please, when we continue to put these questions up, please let us know what questions that you have. This was great.
Yeah. So one of the things I miss most with not being around each other as much as we used to be, like these are the kinds of questions that we would just kind of get on a Sunday night out of nowhere when hearing a message would kind of trigger something in your brains. You'd be like, hey, what do you think about this? We don't have that right now. So maybe if we can use something like this, or if you guys ever just want to send us a DM on Instagram,
Yep,
send us a
anytime.
text, if questions pop up in your mind, we'd love to talk to you. Like we
Yeah.
miss talking with
Yes.
you. So
Yes.
much. So even if it's through other mediums, we want you guys to be thinking about your faith, asking questions about it, diving deeper into it, and anything we can do to help. Because we may not have the answers.
Yeah.
We're still growing in our faith. We have not arrived,
Nope.
right? I may not be able to answer some of the ones that you guys give.
Neither.
Like I said, I
Neither can
still don't know if Adam and Eve have a belly button. It's just an educated guess. So, cool. Well, I think that's all we got.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Fusion next Fusion gathers in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, all right. So not this Sunday. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to the YouTube page. All right. Tell everybody, tell your small groups to subscribe to the YouTube page. All right. I think.
that's it.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I am on vacation next week, so you will not see me. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Man,
Um,
he's leaving me. He's leaving us for the beach.
Yep. And I do not feel even the least bit bad about it. So I wish I could say I will come back tanned and happy. I will come back sunburnt and happy.
And
I have two colors, white and red, and I'm going to try to stay with the white.
there we go. All
All right, guys. We love you. Take care.
Love you guys.